Hey everyone, this is Daryl, aka The D from the Simply Incredible podcast, and tonight I'm doing my NCAA tournament picks. I did the ACC tournament, actually wasn't too bad, and actually shocked me because usually if I make a pick, it's wrong. But I'm going to run through the entire bracket. I'm going to do it pretty quick because I don't want the video to be like an hour and a half long. So if you have the brackets, be sure to send me a message and let me know who you pick too. Like I say, this is just fun, and like I say, more times than not, I'm going to be completely wrong. In this tournament, I think there's a few teams, well, one team in particular that should not have even been in the tournament, and some seeding I didn't think was very good. But you know what? Once you're there, you got to play the games. So again, odds are I'm going to be wrong on the vast majority of these picks. Tonight is Wednesday night, so last night two games were played, and tonight there are two games being played, and so there's a couple of spots that we don't officially know who's going to be in, but we're going to kind of guess and roll with it anyway. So I'm going to start out in the South bracket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bracket all the way to the Final Four, and then go to the next bracket down to the Final Four. And like I said, I'm going to try to run through it pretty quick. We started off with number 1, Kansas versus number 16, Austin Peay. Taking Kansas. No number 1 seed has ever lost in the first round, so got to go with that. Number 8 versus number 9. We got Colorado versus Connecticut. I'm going to take Connecticut, even though I think 8 9s, you never know. But that's where I'm going with that one. Maryland against San Diego State, number 5 versus number 12. Did I say San Diego State? I meant South Dakota State. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not the Aztecs. I'm taking Maryland in that one. Excuse me. If you can tell, I got just a smidge of cold. I hope it's on the backside of it. Next, we got Cal against Hawaii, number 4 versus number 13. We're going Cal on that one. Arizona versus Wichita State. And I think this is going to be a really, really good game. Even though Wichita State did have to play what I kind of call the play-in games, they're calling the first 4 last night, so they actually having to play an extra game. Man, they looked really, really impressive last night, but we're still going with Arizona on that one. Now we have Miami, what number is that? Number 3 versus number 14, Buffalo. I'm taking Miami. I think Miami might go a little ways in this. And that may show a little bit of my ACC homerisms. Next we have, what number is that? 7, Iowa versus number 10, Temple. It's kind of small print. I can't see it real well. We're taking Iowa in that one, even though Temple, not bad. Those teams from Philadelphia in that area, really tough guys. See, we got Villanova versus UNC Asheville. We're taking Nova in that. Figure Nova's going to blow them out in that. Let me see. Change this one setting on here. All right, next we have Kansas versus Connecticut. Number 1 versus number 9. I'm going to go Kansas on that one, even though probably be a pretty decent game. Next we got number 5 versus number 4. Maryland versus Cal. I'm going to take Maryland in that one. See, number 6 versus number 3. Arizona versus Miami. Going Miami in that one. Number 7 versus number 2. Iowa against Villanova. Man, I'm tempted to go Iowa on this one, but I'm going to go and stick with Nova in that one. Now, we're at the Sweet 16. Going to take Kansas against Miami. Against Maryland, excuse me. Going Kansas on that. Miami versus Villanova. This is a game I'm really hoping happens because I think it's going to be a battle. Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and take Miami in that one. Not just because of my ACC homerisms, but because I think their point guard is really good. I think he's going to be the one to make the difference in that game. Going down to the West, we have Oregon against the winner of tonight's Holy Cross Southern game. I'll go ahead and put Oregon in the second round. I don't think they're going to have much to worry about. Next, we have St. Joe's versus Cincinnati, the 8-9. I'm going to take... I'm going with St. Joe's on that one. Even though I think either team can win that. I think that's probably a really good game. Next, we have Baylor against Yale. Woo. I'm gonna take Yale for the upset. Every year there's a 12 seed that wins, beats a 5 seed. Taking a flyer on that one. I'm probably way off, and Yale might get blown out, but they haven't been in the tournament. I can't remember how many years I heard. Something like 30, 40 years or something like that. Maybe more than that. So I'm going with Yale on this one. Next, we have number 4, Duke versus UNC Wilmington. And I kind of think Duke's is slightly overseeded in this one. They should have been a 5 seed, but it's Duke. Duke's going to get that, but I'm taking Duke anyway. Next, we got Texas, number 6 versus number 11, Northern Iowa. Let's go with Shaka Smart and his kids for Texas. Then we got Texas A&M, number 3 versus Wisconsin Green Bay, number 14. We're going A&M on that one. A&M looks really, really good. They didn't win their conference title, but they look really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it a long ways in this too. Next, we have number 7, Oregon State versus number 10, VCU. I'm going to take VCU in this one. We're going Shaka Smart's old team in this one. They've had a good program for the last few years, so I think they might still have a little bit for them. And next, number 2, Oklahoma versus Cal State Bakersfield. We're going Oklahoma in that one. Probably a rout in that one. Let's see. Oregon versus St. Joe's. This could be very interesting. I'm going Oregon on this one, but I would not be surprised if St. Joe's knocked out the number 1 Oregon right there. Next, we got number 12, Yale versus number 4, Duke. Even though I think Duke is slightly overrated in this one, I'm still going with them. Darn it. Next, we got Texas versus Texas A&M. Number 6 versus number 3. Should be a great game, but I'm taking A&M, the number 3 seed, coming out of that spot. Then number 10, VCU versus number 2, Oklahoma. Going to take Oklahoma there. Oregon versus Duke, 1 versus 4 in the Sweet 16. I'm going to take Oregon, even though I think they're slightly. I think they should have been a 2 seed. Michigan State should have been a 1 seed. Some people say Virginia should have been knocked down to a number 2. I could have seen that happen too, either way. But Michigan State should have been a 1 seed. Next, we're going to see what we got. Number 2 and number 3. Oklahoma versus Texas A&M. Oklahoma's got that guard that can just shoot the lights out all day long. But I think A&M just got some toughness about them. I think they're going to win that game. And then I think A&M's going to beat Oregon to make it to the Final Four. So that's half of my Final Four. Kansas and Texas A&M on that side. And maybe I forgot to say it. I had Kansas beat Miami in the other bracket. Next bracket. We're in the East bracket now. We have North Carolina versus Florida Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast played last night. Remember a couple years ago they had a good run? It's going to end tonight, or on that first night. Carolina's going to roll over them. We have Southern Cal versus Providence. Should be a really good game. I'm going to take Southern Cal in that. Don't be surprised if all Providence wins. Good team. We got Indiana versus Chattanooga. Definitely going to take Indiana. I actually thought they might have been a slightly higher seed as well. Kentucky versus Stony Brook. Again, Kentucky. Another team I thought should have been a higher seed. Maybe as much as a 3 seed. I thought they were that good. But that's actually who A&M lost to in the SEC championship game. That was one heck of a game. That was a nail-biter. Next, we have number 6, Notre Dame versus the winner of tonight's Michigan-Tulsa game. I suspect that'll be Michigan, which will be a really, really good game. I've heard many people saying that they think Michigan's going to make it through. But I'm taking Notre Dame in that one, even though I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan did make it through. Next, we have number 3, West Virginia versus number 14, Stephen F. Austin. I'm going West Virginia. That defense is really good. I saw them play UVA and they beat Kansas at home. Really good team. When they get that defense rolling, that press rolling, they're tough to beat. Number 7, Wisconsin against number 10, Pitt. We're going Pitt on that one, even though don't be at all surprised if Wisconsin wins right there. Next, we have number 2, Xavier versus number 15, Weber State. We're going Xavier on that. Now, the round of 32. Number 1, North Carolina versus number 8, Southern Cal. I'm going to take North Carolina in the battle of the alphabets, UNC against USC. Next, in this game right here, I hear everybody saying it should not be played right here. Totally agree. Both teams, I think, are underseeded on this one. Indiana against Kentucky. I'm going to take Kentucky. I mean, I really could see them being as high as a 3 seed. Indiana maybe move up to a 4 seed. I mean, they look like they could have done that, but it didn't happen. Got to play who you're playing. Next, we have Notre Dame against West Virginia. I'm taking West Virginia in that. Because, again, that defense is strong. Then we have Pitt versus Xavier. Man, I've seen both teams play a few times. Pitt a lot more because, again, I'm an ACC guy. I'm going to take Pitt to pull that upset, but I don't have a lot of confidence in that. I actually don't have a lot of confidence picking either team in that game. Now to the Sweet 16. Carolina against Kentucky. A battle of the legendary programs here. Man, I think I'm going to take Kentucky, even though Carolina has that a little bit of that veteran leadership, which later on you're going to hear me totally contradict what I'm saying right now. I think the veteran leadership means a lot, but I just think Kentucky, they're getting it rolling now, and they might do like they did a couple years ago and be kind of underseeded and roll right through. Next, West Virginia against Pitt, number 3 versus number 10. And Pitt, I think their dreams are over right there. Then you got number 4, Kentucky versus number 3, West Virginia. Oh, man. That really great defense against that really good young team. I'm going to take Kentucky in that one. So Kentucky to the Final Four. And the last region, the Midwest, where my Cavaliers are. And I've got an issue with this bracket. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? It's UVA's bracket. UVA, number 1 versus number 16, Hampton. I'm taking UVA. Let me click the button. There you go. Virginia. Next, this is going to be Texas Tech versus Butler, the 8 versus 9. I'm going to take Butler, the number 9. Purdue versus Arkansas Little Rock, number 5 versus number 12. Here's another one. I'm not going to be surprised if there's an upset, that 12 seed win, but I'm going to take Purdue with the old star beside it. With the old, I'm not surprised if they lose. Next, number 4, Iowa State versus number 13, Iona. Take Iowa State. I think they're going to probably blow right through that game. Next, we're going to have Seton Hall versus Gonzaga. The 6 versus the 11. I think that's going to be a really good game. Really, really good game. I think one other time I looked at this and kind of did a mock pick. I think I picked Gonzaga, but I think I'm going to take Seton Hall. They got a really good guard on that team. Really, really good. Can't think of his name. I apologize. I can't think of his name, but I know he's really good. Next, number 3, Utah versus number 14, Fresno. Going to take Utah there, the running Utes. I always like saying that, Utes. I don't know why it's fun. Next, we have number 7, Dayton versus number 10, Syracuse. Syracuse, as a team, I think should not be in this tournament. I think they passed up some really good teams and put Syracuse in. And I don't know why. I mean, I have a couple of theories on it. One of my theories is they want another ACC team in. And if that's the case, they picked the wrong one. I think there's a few teams they could have picked ahead of them, including, and I hate to say this because I'm a Cavalier, but including Virginia Tech. That was a team that won 5 of their last 6 games, including beating Miami. But I just don't think they should be in there. I really don't. Virginia Tech also beat UVA along the way, too. But having said that, I'm still taking Syracuse, the number 10 seed. And don't forget St. Bonaventure. I know that's a team that definitely should have been in the tournament. I don't know how they overlooked them. I really don't. That is a team that should be here. And I feel bad for teams like that should be here and kind of got the wrong end of the stick on it. I just feel bad for them. Next, Michigan State, number 2 versus Middle Tennessee State. Easy Michigan State there. Next round, we got the round of 32. UVA against Butler. Going UVA on that one. Virginia's defense is just so strong. They get that offense rolling at all, they will be a handful for anybody. Next, number 5, Purdue versus number 4, Iowa State. Woo-wee. I'm going to take Purdue to pull what I think is going to be a slight upset. I think Iowa State's a really good team. I think Purdue's a really good team. But I think Purdue's going to pull that upset and get that win. Number 6, Seton Hall versus number 3, Utah. That should be a good one. I'm going to take Seton Hall again with that point guard. He's really, really good. Then we have Syracuse versus Michigan State. Number 10 versus number 2. Michigan State on to the round of 16. Purdue versus UVA. Number 1 versus number 5. I'm taking Virginia to make it to we're at the round of 8 coming up. Seton Hall against Michigan State. Picking Michigan State. And the final 4. The last 2 years, Michigan State has taken out Virginia. And I thoroughly believe they put Michigan State in this region just to play Virginia. I really believe that, guys. I really do. But I think this is the year Virginia gets past them. At least that's what my heart's saying. My head probably not saying that. That's what my heart's saying. Now to the final 4. Kansas against Texas A&M. Man, oh, wow. This should be quite a game. Now, if these even come closer, if this comes out like this, I'll be the one having the heart attack. So there you go. But this game right here, if this game were to happen, I think it'd be a heck of a game. And I'm going to take A&M, Texas A&M to beat Kansas. Even though I think Kansas may be the best team in the nation, I always believe this on any given night in the big dance, anybody can win. And in the battle that A&M gave Kentucky, wow. Then on the other side of the bracket, we have Kentucky against UVA. Again, like I said before, you have youth versus experience. And, wow. Man, I want to take UVA so bad in that game. And one of my best friends is two of my good friends are huge Kentucky fans. And I am going to Malcolm Brogdon and the guys against Tyler. Is it Tyler in it? Tyler? No, not Tyler. Ulis. I can't think of Ulis's first name. I apologize, Ulis. And that team from Kentucky is really good all the way around. I'm going to have to take Kentucky. Wow. Now that I'm looking at it, this is kind of interesting because I'm just doing this off the fly. And we have the SEC championship game again that they just had that went to overtime. The first game that they played, basically Kentucky had, and one of the guys spiked the ball out of joy after he got the ball, and he got technical and ended up going to overtime, and Kentucky ended up losing. So both games that they played this year went to overtime. I'm going to take, dang it, I hate to say this, but I'm taking Kentucky to win it all. I really hate saying that. I really want to say UVA. All right, watch this. UVA to win it all. Okay, but they're not. Man, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong so bad. I'm not going to take the final. I think it's going to be a fairly decently scored game. About 78 to 76. Because I think it's going to be just that tight. So, I want UVA to win. I want my Who's to win. But in my head, I just don't think they're going to get there. And quite frankly, there's about 3 games along the way that UVA could lose. I mean, every team in here. I really look at these brackets. I think there's 6-7 teams that could win. But I'm picking Kentucky on this one. This is my quote official one, even though it's probably really, really bad. It's probably really bad. But there it is. Wildcats for the championship. And again, I hope I'm wrong. But that's what I got. Let me know what you guys have, and please don't be too mean to me about it, because like I say, it's all for fun. Just enjoy it, and let me know what you guys have. Thanks, and have an incredible day.